Hello guys, and welcome to Program Artist. Today we're gonna talk about how to write tests for an abstract class. Suppose you have a problem which has a common case, and it varies a little bit depending on the concrete case. For example, you have cats and dogs, and each of them has a unique sound depending on the animal. So cats make the meow sound and dogs make the woof sound, and they make the sound only if they are fed with their favorite food. But the cats also make the sound if they're pets. So you're supposed to find a solution for this problem. There are two solutions that I can think of right away, and one is composition, which means to make the common behavior in one object and use this object inside the other object, which only implements the specific behavior. There is also another solution, which is inheritance, and let's assume you picked the inheritance solution and you now want to unit test your solution. So today I'm going to talk about how to write the unit tests for the abstract class along with the concrete cases of that class. So let's implement our solution before we test it. So we have an animal class, which is the base class for all our animals, and it will be an abstract class. And it is abstract because I will have abstract getter for the sound and abstract getter for the favorite foods. Okay, so the sound is the sound the animal makes, and the favorite foods are the favorite foods of that animal. So let's make a class dog which extends the animal, and it has a get sound which is turn woof, and it has favorite foods which is, let's make it meat and a bone. Okay, and we have expert class cat extends animal, and it has the sound meow and the favorite foods so it likes to eat milk, drink milk and cream. My god, the construction site is making a lot of noise. Okay, so this is the base class, and these are the concrete classes of the dog and the cat. So let's implement the common behavior. Come on, stop it. With feeding, I'm gonna feed it with some food, and it will return a sound if it likes the food, and if it doesn't like the food, it will return null. Just for the sake of the example, you can implement other stuff. Okay, so if this favorite foods index of food, it exists. So if the food is inside the favorite foods, I'm gonna return this sound. Otherwise, I'm gonna return null. Okay, so if the animal likes the food it's fed with, it makes a sound, otherwise it doesn't make any sound. So this is the common behavior. And now, what's going on? A lot of noise today. And now I'm gonna implement the pet method. okay, which also will return a string only for the cat, and it will return a purr sound for petting. Okay, so once again I have an animal class with sound and favorite foods, and if the animal is fed with the food it likes, it makes the sound, otherwise it doesn't. And the dog only extends the animal class, meaning it has this behavior, and the cat also has this behavior, but it also has a behavior of when it's pet, it makes a sound. Now you want to write a unit test for these classes. One approach is creating some kind of stub class that derives from animal, implement a sound and a favorite foods inside the test, and test it depending on the sound and the food and the favorite foods within the test. But if you do it this way, you will have to decide when you're testing the dog and the cat classes what you're gonna do. Either you're not gonna test the common behavior at all for the dog and the cat, meaning that you trust the animal behavior, but you're not sure the dog doesn't do anything to tamper with this behavior. For example, if for some reason instead of sound here, or instead of favorite foods here of an array, I'm gonna return a null, it will tamper with the behavior of the common case, because these favorite foods will be actually null, and it will throw an error. So if you're not testing the feed function of the dog, it may actually be a bad idea, because the concrete class may tamper with the common behavior as well. So if you're choosing not to test it, this is the consequences that you're getting. Now you might choose to test the common behavior for the dog and the cat and the abstract class we tested before. Now you're having three parts of the code testing the same behavior, which is actually a duplication of code, and it will be harder to maintain, because if you change the common behavior of the feed, you'll have to update 3 places for it to behave properly, and it's code duplication with all the code duplications bad things you probably already know. So this is one approach. Another approach is you can say, okay, I'm not gonna test any abstract class, I'm only gonna test the dog and the cat classes for all the behavior, the common behavior and the not common behavior. This way you have not 3 duplications, but only 2 duplications, which is better, but still you can do much better. Now I'm gonna show you a third approach of how to test it, and test also the common behavior, and test for each of the classes, the cat and dog classes, and not duplicating your code. The way I'm gonna do it is actually I'm gonna create a test, okay, a test suite for the abstract class, the animal class, and I'm not gonna run it. I'm only gonna implement it with the parameter of the animal, and I'm gonna run it for each of the concrete types of the dog and the cat. I will have a function. Okay, before I'm gonna show you how I'm testing it, I'm just gonna say that I'm not gonna use any specific testing library like Mocha or I don't know, other that you're familiar with, simply because I'm just showing a point, and it doesn't matter which library you're using, Mocha or QUnit, I don't know. You can do it in each of them by generating the tests. So I'm gonna write semi-tests for the and output the results to the console, just to show you the example here. So let's create a function test animal, and it will receive animal, which is an animal. Okay, and what it will do, it will actually run a test animal should make sound with the animal, and test animal should not make sound animal. Okay, so what the test animal should make sound will be, it will be a function which receives also an animal, and what it does, it actually iterates all the favorite foods of the animal. Okay, let's make those public. Favorite foods for each food. Okay, and what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna create a sound which is animal feed with the food, and what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna ensure the sound it makes is the sound it's supposed to make. So I'm gonna just log it, console log, should make sound, I don't know, should make okay, when fed with favorite food should make sound. Let's make it this and this. Make sound animal dot sound, and it is gonna be true if the sound it made is equal to the animal dot sound. Okay, now I'm gonna test the other thing, function animal. What I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna feed it with some other I don't know, some unknown food. Let's make it const sound will be animal dot feed with I don't know, unknown food, and what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna console log when fed with unknown food should not make sound, and it is true if the sound is null. So again, test animal receives an animal and calls the test animal should make a sound and test animal should not make a sound. The test animal should make a sound loops over all the favorite foods and feeds it to the animal, and if the sound is the expected sound of the animal, it will be true, otherwise it will be false. And the test animal should not make sound, feeds the animal with some unknown food and expects it to return a null. So now, after writing the tests for the animal, for the common case, let's write the tests for the concrete cases of dog and cat. You can notice that even though I wrote the tests for the animal, I didn't run them. I only created the functions which are supposed to test it, but I'm not running them. So now I'm gonna create and run I'm gonna create and run the tests for the dog and the cat. So let's create a function test dog, and it will write testing dog. Okay, I'm gonna create a dog and I'm gonna test the dog with an animal. The dog doesn't have any concrete specific behavior, so I'm only interested in testing the dog as an animal. Now I'm gonna run it, test dog, and when I run it, it will run actually the tests for the base class of the animal. And let's create the test cat as well. And I'm gonna log the testing cat. I'm gonna create a new cat, and I'm gonna test animal for the cat. Now I'm gonna write a specific cat test for the pet method. So I'm gonna write cat specific tests, and now I'm gonna see the sound the cat makes when it is pet, and I'm gonna ensure that when pet the cat should make a brr sound, and it is true if the sound is equal to how many R's did I have in the cat? 4 R's, so it will be true like this. And I'm gonna run the test cat method. So now I'm gonna compile it. Okay, and now I'm gonna run it. Source, okay, node source testing abstract case. Let's see. Okay, so now it's testing dog. When fed with favorite food should make sound woof, true. True. Okay, let's make it when fed with, instead of favorite food, I'm gonna write it the food. I'm gonna compile it again just to see it clearly. Run it again. Okay, when fed with meat should make sound woof, true. When fed with bone should make sound woof, true. When fed with unknown food should not make sound, that's true also. And for the cat as well, I'm having the cases true, 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 and the specific case for the cat is also true. So now you can see I am testing the common behavior for each individual concrete type of the animal, but I'm not duplicating any code. I wrote the common tests only once, but I'm running them for each of the concrete types. You have watched an episode about how to test an abstract class. Let me know what you think about it by leaving a comment in the comment section down below. You can watch more programming tips videos by clicking over here, or you can trust YouTube to know what you really like by clicking over here. If you want to watch other code-related videos, check out my channel and feel free to subscribe. See you later on Program Artist.